Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday, March 12th. So glad that each of you is here and tuned in to your life, ready to serve and ready to learn. That is the right headspace to be in. So I'm just going to dive right in here. We're going to see if we can get our Facebook Live started. Who here is grateful for technology? Oh my goodness. We have been having Zoom calls with friends from around the world and owners and leaders, and it is just mind-blowing to me how much the world shrinks thanks to technology. So go ahead and put in the chat where you're calling from, and go ahead and share what your what doTERRA products you've taken today. All right. So I'll start out. I took a shower and used the shampoo bar. I used the body wash in the shower. And then I took my VMG and collagen drink right after I woke up. And then I just made my brew with my peppermint oil in it. And it doesn't look like the Facebook Live is working. And then I just took all my supplements. So I take my E Omegas, my PB Restore. I always take Terrazyme. Okay, I still don't have, doesn't look like Facebook Live is working yet. So let's do a little testy test. And it says it's working. I do an audio test, hang on. Okay, we have audio, fantastic. So yeah, I took my supplements and yeah, so it's gonna be a great day. All right, Linda added to her VMG and Advantage her Omegas and peppermint. Awesome. Natalie takes her peppermint soft gels every day. She is religious about that. Jeff says, try ease, lemon, lavender, peppermint, seasonal allergies. Love it. Victoria says, too many to list. Spa line, skincare line, supplements. I know, right? People were, I worried when I first got started that I wouldn't be able to do 100 PV every month. And now I worry that I can't keep it under 300. So there are too many good things. Too much good. Ooh, Amy's got a good list. On Guard, toothpaste, VMG, Advantage, Fiber, E Omega, Adaptive, Terrazyme, Moto2max, and Balance. I love it. Fantastic. So good, right? All right. Well, I'm going to do my best to capture the energy of leadership. Obviously, I can't try to transmit the content, but I think we had the best US leadership we've ever had. I'm so grateful the owners are tuned in and that they have chief field officers. So we have, right now we have Kyle and Kirsten Kirschbaum, and we have Eric Larson on the in that position, and they are doing so great. They're the ones who basically organized most of the content for leadership, and they did so great. Last year, we heard about 80% from corporate and 20% from the field. This year, it was totally flip-flopped. We had at least 80% from the field and maybe 20% from corporate. And that's the way it should be. You know, we come to leadership to get inspired, to hear from leaders, to hear what's working. And it was fantastic. Yeah, Jeff is saying it was awesome. So if you attended live or watched the live stream, I want you to put in the chat what stood out to you most. What was the most valuable message that you took away from leadership? For me, I loved From corporate, I love the messaging that the world needs a path to $500, and we now have that to offer. From the field, I heard just core messages around what it means to be a leader. And I have to say, and I might be playing favorites here, but Lindsay Norman was my favorite. I don't think I've spoken to anyone yet who hasn't agreed with me, though, that she was their favorite also. But if you only go back and watch one session, watch hers. She basically talked about her strategies for acquiring and retaining. And then the two things that she's acquiring are customers and builders. And so you got to have a strategy for each of the four. So she put up on the slide a quadrant, and I'll see if I can find the a graphic that represents that. But okay, here we go. So imagine that you've got one job as a leader. This graphic would pretty much summarize what that job is. Your job is to acquire customers, to have a strategy around acquiring and retaining customers, and then also around acquiring and retaining builders. And so if you don't have a strategy in each of these four quadrants, then you will struggle to create a sustainable organization. So go back and watch her presentation. She crushed it. Oh, thank you, Victoria. In case you didn't buy the access, Victoria has shared a link. Somebody has already recorded it, but she crushed it. And then also, I would highly recommend tuning in to Lindsay Norman's YouTube channel, which is something about wellness. If somebody wants to beat me to it, please be my guest. I usually just search up Lindsay Norman doTERRA. I think it's Grow with Wellness. Does that sound right? Yeah, Grow with Wellness. Okay, so here's a link to her YouTube channel. She is so gracious and giving of her content. So she's a true, like when she first heard the comp plan, she saw the pools that doTERRA offers, and she did the math, and she realized, oh, that's why it makes sense to collaborate. doTERRA has truly created a culture where it actually rewards us to all rise together. And so she has taken that mindset and made such a huge contribution to the culture of doTERRA. So definitely go check out her stuff. She is amazing. And for those of us, oh, wow. It says my Facebook Live has ended. I just said how much I love technology, and then technology reminds me I'm not in charge. So, okay, well, it shows it's still going. Guess I'll do another audio. Okay, it looks like it's working. Okay, so those who just joined, I was talking about Lindsay Norman and all the gifts that she is bringing to doTERRA. It's SAY and then RMAN. So Lindsay Norman, go check her out. I would also recommend following her on social media. She recently made a post comparing her old company to her new company. Oh, shoot. And it is so, so good. So I'm not going to take any more of your time, but yeah, so those are my top takeaways. So from corporate, path to 500, and from the field, how to lead. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and open it up to questions. go ahead and raise your hand if you want to come on live and we can have a conversation. Or if you'd like, you can just post your questions in the chat. So I'm here to serve and would love to know how I can serve. By the way, last I think it was at leadership. I heard of somebody whose Facebook account got hacked, and so they couldn't tune in to the success coaching call without their Facebook account. And so for anybody who's ever wondering, what is that dang link to the success coaching call? You go to sharesuccess.com/call, CALL. And so please remember that you don't have to have Facebook. You don't have to have, I mean, there's no registration to have an email link. Just yeah, go ahead and sharesuccess.com/call. Okay, we've got a question here from Becky. She says, I wasn't at leadership. Any updates on upcoming products or changes that you're excited to share? They didn't really announce new products. They did share that, what did they share? I mean, we have some really cool things that are coming in terms of, oh yeah, Jeannie, thank you. Castor oil. They did tease out castor oil. Did they give a timeline on that one? In terms of a new focus, though, I would say that there's a huge emphasis on foundational wellness. So powered by essential oils. So we have never abandoned essential oils. We are always and always will be an essential oil company. But the world, it seems like, is ready to shift wellness at a foundational level, and we get to fuel that with essential oils. So I like the analogy of a car. If you are, if you think of your body as a sports car and you've only got one car that has to last you a lifetime, then your cells need fuel. And so gas is like the fuel. You got to have high quality fuel. So that's why we focus on such high quality supplements and the VMG and the E omegas. That's the fuel, but the essential oils are like the key. And so if you don't have fuel, you're not going anywhere. If you don't have the keys, you're not going anywhere. So the essential oils light up the pathways to help us maximize our nutrition. So that's a really life-changing direction that we're heading in. If any of you have heard of the book, why am I blanking her name right now? Good Energy. So there's a doctor, and I'm blanking her name too. She wrote Good Energy, and it is, yes, Casey Means. She really makes the case for how Americans are sick and getting sicker, and it's accelerating. And it all comes back to metabolic health. So doTERRA has all the solutions. It has so many power tools that we can be using. So yeah, if you haven't read Good Energy, go check it out. Great book. Love the audiobook. She is so passionate. She did an interview with Tucker Carlson. She did one with Joe Rogan. She has been on some really big name shows and doing such good work. Okay, also, Tatiana heard about Supermint mouthwash. I am sorry if I missed that. Does anybody have details on if we're getting a Supermint mouthwash? Because I would love that. I feel like On Guard was my go-to for for toothpaste and mouthwash for forever, but we are such big Supermint fans. Awesome. Amy says she was just planning a neighborhood health center book group, starting with this book. Excellent choice. So good. Okay. Oh, they got to sample it. Okay, I never made it over to the product showcase at Leadership, so that's awesome. Okay. Victoria says, I can't find the Dana Moore class. So Dana Moore at Leadership taught a new intro class. It was really great. I think it was only 26 minutes long. And doTERRA offered the PowerPoint and a recording of it, but it's not in the DMK yet. I'm not surprised. That stuff has to get like scrubbed squeaky clean by compliance. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't come out for another 2 or 3 days. So I would stay tuned on that one. Okay. Any other questions? Raise your hand if you want to come on live. And yeah, continue the conversation. Scrolling back. Yes, last session was the bomb. So true. Okay, we have iPhone raising their hand, and then we have Victoria raising their hand. So if you want to come on as a panelist, oh, maybe they didn't want to come on and ask their question. Okay. Hello, hello.
Hey. Mine's more of something that Amy Olette and Pete and I thought of after that I wanted to share with everybody because it absolutely blew my mind.
Please.
If that's okay. And really it was kind of Amy because I'm not that familiar having my account in Hong Kong. But I want to make sure everybody's aware of the strategy of enrolling people using the refer a friend link and having those people, even if you meet somebody and they're like, hey, I'd like to build, you know, do the refer a friend link and you enroll them as a wholesale customer. They use the refer a friend link. You do as many classes as you can in the first 60 days. And then that gives you more time to talk to people to see if they're interested in the pathway to 500. Because then at the end of the 60 days, you can restructure all the enrollments with the right people on top, if that makes sense. So it's just a refer a friend strategy. I actually sent Natalie a recording of it. Amy and I did a really high-tech recording in my living room. I'm sure corporate's going to love it. But just to be thinking out of the box that way with this new compensation plan, it's going to be really cool. I hope that made sense. But
Totally. Yeah. And I think that's similar to what Rod was saying. With the new updates in Power 3, it's going to make a lot more sense to shore up each of those pods. And so Rod was thinking, I'm going to encourage my new people to just put all their like up to 10 new customers on their front line. And then you've got 30 days to sort out, you know, who might be my sharers.
But if you do that, Andy, it is similar. It's the refer a friend. You can move them wherever you want, because then if the person decides not to build after 60 days, which would be foolish, we know, but on the off chance, then you've got the people where you want them. But if they do decide to build, then they upgrade to a wellness advocate, and then you can move all people for 60 days. It gives you just more time to have those conversations and things like that. But it is similar, but instead of having all those 10 people kind of stuck on your front line.
Yeah.
Because to move them, if you obviously if you enroll them as wholesale customers, they'd have to upgrade and enroll someone to move them. Because you really probably only want 5 or 6 on your front line to get that, maybe.
Can't you move customers for the first 30 days though?
For the first 30 days, but I'm giving you 60.
Okay. Awesome.
Sometimes it's how people don't know what they want to do in 30 days.
Sure.
It just
I love
buys you
that.
more time and allows you to potentially put people in other holes that you might have anywhere in your business
Mm,
in case that person decides, hey, this really isn't for me.
that's a great idea. So Becky is asking, how do you get a 60 days to move someone? Can you just clarify for her?
Yeah, so I had that question too, Becky, because this is Amy Willett. I got to give credit where credit is due. You go to, if you have an account manager, you go to your account manager. And if you don't yet, because you all will one day, you go to the business advancement team. You don't go to placements, which I thought was curious. So that was a great question, Becky.
And so um, that's for the upgrade from customer to builder, right?
No, that's just to move. So if I enroll a wholesale customer and I know I've got 60 days, and to be honest, I'd probably do 55, and I'd say, let's do
Mhm.
a class a week or as many classes as we can in that period of time. And then she enrolls people with her refer a friend link.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So she's getting the 20% in dollars, not LRP points, not cash, but in the doTERRA dollars, which she's going to want to be placing her orders anyway. And then you have 60 days. So let's say that we enroll 10 people in that period of time. Could be 20, right? We don't know how many we're going to enroll if we're doing classes well. Now, as those refer a friend enrollments come in, if she's super sure she's going to do this, well, she's a wholesale customer, so she can't put anybody under her. So I'm going to take those enrollments, they become mine,
Mhm.
right? And I can put them anywhere in my business just in case something happens, like, somebody naysays her, and we've all had the dream
Sure.
killers. Then I've got all those 10 or 20 enrollments in my organization where I might want them, right? But after the end of the 60 days, she's like, oh my gosh, this is an answer to prayer, like most of us feel. Then I'm going to go to my account manager. I'm going to upgrade her to a wellness advocate. And then I get to restructure all of her people that she enrolled on that link under her. You have 60 days to do that. And then in that
But
60 days, it gives us just more time to have those pathway to 500 conversations with people.
so just to be clear, the 60-day thing only refers to customers who came in through the refer a friend.
Correct.
It's not, so this is not some new thing. This is not a change in the comp plan. So just to be clear, Becky, if I sent my link from the link generator and they join 30 days, right? If I have a customer who uses their refer a friend link, that's who we're referring to, the people who join from refer a friend. Okay, so it's two different things, very different. So
They're very
good.
different. And your link, you have until the 10th of the following month. So it could be a
Oh,
little
right.
less than 30 or a little more
Yeah,
than. I'm a very accurate person, Andy. You
good
know that.
call. Yes. Yeah, that's right. So,
Responsibility is my number one strength. It's got to be right.
right. So,
But
um,
it's just a good idea for us to start thinking really creatively
mhm.
about how we can get people off to the best start. And just to be clear, Refer a Friend is currently only in the US and Canada.
Yes. Great question, Erska, about Europe. We are hoping and praying that it rolls out in so many markets because it's been such a great program. So yeah, if if you're in touch with your account manager, send them a gentle nudge, and that would be great. So Ruth
Yes,
is
Sophia, I'm
asking,
just answering Sophia's question. Yes, Sophia, they have 60 days to, they can upgrade at any time, but they have 60 days to move people, move people that they've used to refer a friend.
so the friend isn't the one who gets to move them because the friend is just a customer, right? Or the
Well,
referrer, I should say.
Right, but yeah, so I would be contacting my account manager
Yeah.
saying
So,
Jane's been a wholesale customer, she's enrolled 10 people, she wants to become a wellness advocate and get her people back. And then I
right,
can structure them because I'll have, you know,
right.
all of them are gonna enroll at different points, but I'll have more time to have the path to 500 conversation with them and find the 3 or 4 that
Hmm.
are interested to share, put them on the front line. I might keep a couple others just to ensure the
Hmm.
500 pod, right? But then there's others that if I can find 3 that want to do kind of the same thing, or they might
Hmm.
upgrade, you can move people under them.
Exactly. So I feel like we need to do a quick little recap of the refer a friend, just for those who aren't super familiar with it. So let's say Victoria has a customer named Jane, and Jane loves the product and she wants to share. So she can use the refer a friend link on her social media and share. She can even host a class and use her refer a friend. And but when those when people enroll with the refer a friend, they don't fall under Jane. So just so everyone's clear, Jane is still a customer. She's just a customer. She can't have a downline. And so when Victoria first started, it kind of sounded like Victoria was taking her people, but she's not. Like friends, like referrers cannot have any downline. It's not even possible. So that's how the whole program works. So just so everyone's super clear, the strategy isn't like shady. This is just how
Right,
it
right.
works.
And so when a wholesale customer uses their refer a friend link, they get paid 20% of that person's order in dough dollars, which are not rewards points. It's actual money that can cover tax and shipping. It's money, but they don't get the cash. I believe they can save all the cash and then when they upgrade, get paid out.
Mm,
Um,
sounds right.
but the enrollment goes to that person who shares enroller.
Hmm.
But if she decides to upgrade to a wholesale customer within that 60 days, those enrollments go back to her and become her enrollment. So it's kind of like I know that, she knows that. If I place somebody that came into me through refer a friend, I'll put them somewhere, but I always tell that person, hey, if this lady decides to upgrade, this is gonna move.
Hmm.
So always communication. Good communication is always key, but particularly in this.
Totally. Clear as kind, unclear as unkind. So true. Okay. Did we cover? So Sophie is asking, when does the 60-day countdown start? From the time that the person used the link and came in, right?
I believe, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm putting a link here in the chat that is the refer a friend information on the website.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Did we cover all the questions? I don't see any. Um, I think we covered it pretty well. So,
You know, we really need to think really outside of the box, and
yeah,
the new compensation plan is opening up so many cool opportunities and,
totally.
you know, with the rank compression, and
Yep.
make sure everybody knows too that there's they did, John Jensen and Michael Sterling did a webinar a couple of days ago, and they're
Hmm.
putting it in the DMK. I haven't looked for it yet, but they said they were gonna put it, and and then there's the calls to, you know, this is our business. I'm presuming if you're on this call, you want to build a business. Um, we need to know our business, right? So
Yeah.
that we can leverage it, maximize it, and share it correctly and well and with strategy.
100%. So true.
I
Um,
always think about my soon-to-be son-in-law. He's a cardiologist, and he has spent like $800,000 in schooling,
oh my
and
gosh.
it's taken him 13 years. And, you know, we make more money than him as a blue diamond. And, you know, I think about how much he has studied and how much he has
Mhm.
paid and, you know, all of
Mhm.
that stuff. And, you know, you can't be a cardiologist unless you go through all of that. He has to be excellent, right? If he's going to cut somebody
Mhm.
open like that, we should be excellent. And we don't have to, we have to do like $150 a month, you know, and just understand our comp plan well.
So true.
And we can
It,
make more money. So
it
we
blows
really,
my mind.
it blows my mind how, you know, we really
Yeah.
need to understand it. It doesn't take that long to really get it, but
Yep.
it doesn't take 13 years and $800,000.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so powerful.
So we
Um,
should be excellent. Spend a couple hours and a couple
yeah.
months.
I even think of my entrepreneur friends who have bought companies or built companies and the amount of risk they've taken, the amount of capital they needed to start. And I mean, it's just insane.
It's not
The,
residual, right? Like
yeah,
Ethan's only as good as his
yep,
last surgery. Right?
exactly.
After all that, if something happened, you know, I just, you know, do we
Yeah,
really understand what we have?
right. One of my favorite parts of Lindsay's talk was when she said, I only know two of the owners' names, and and I think the president's name is like Bill Murray.
She's like, no, I think that's an actor.
Yeah.
Right.
So, um, and then she was talking about like lenolulz. She's like, I've heard the word 100 times. I still don't know what they do. And her point was she doesn't have to know the ownership. She doesn't have to know the science. She doesn't have to know like what every single doTERRA product does. Like that's the power of doTERRA is you can know so little and just have passion and share from that space of passion.
Well, and I think it
And
was Henry Ford that said, I don't need to know everything. I just need to know where to find it.
yep,
Right. So we don't need to know the chemical makeup of juniper berry. We just need to know, oh, it's in the chemistry book. Here, let me
yep,
send you the PDF.
exactly.
Oh,
So true.
did iPhone person have a question? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm gonna,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. Let's ask them to unmute. They don't have a name, so we're just going to call you iPhone person. But if you've got a question, go ahead and unmute. We can bring you on. Okay. Well, sometimes this webinar format is different enough. I'm not sure if they meant to come on to ask a question, so it's all good. Well, since you're here, Victoria, do you want to share any of your top takeaways from leadership?
Well, you know, you can't really articulate the shift in the energy for the past couple of years, right?
Right.
I mean, I think we've all had a bit of a dark season anywhere we are in the world. Um, and it just really, really felt like, you know, the path to 500 is so clear.
Yep.
The strategy with our foundational wellness, it's just so clear. And I
Hmm.
think I walked out of there going, know the path to 500, understand the foundational wellness class. And then we have all this other stuff that's fabulous that we can sprinkle in as needed.
Yeah.
But just know that I felt, and I think I felt like, oh, iPhone person's phone isn't unmuting.
Oh,
Oh, it's Mary Reed. Sorry,
okay.
iPhone person.
Huh.
Anyway, so I really felt like everybody's spirits were up. The energy was so positive. Um, the things that they're doing in the back office. Oh my gosh, Jordan Wilcox is like my new best friend. Like he fixed my Hong Kong link generator. Like boom, I'll fix that. Done.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. And the
Oh my
GAC
gosh.
link generator got fixed as well. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I just felt like everybody was, it was like a reboot. Maybe, you know, I don't know, like let's do it again.
That's how it felt to me too. Just this energy shift. Like I feel like the last few years we've just been getting all the pieces in place to create this tidal wave, of the next, I don't know, it's doTERRA 2.0. and we have all the parts and pieces perfectly in place to just go crush it. So Jess is asking, what's this path to 500 you're speaking about? So with these comp plan upgrades, they're calling it doTERRA's comp plan elevated. It's easier than ever to earn $500 a month residually. And I just posted a link to the video that doTERRA put together, which I've been so impressed with doTERRA.
Is that the commercial video, the 2-minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's simple, it's short, it's just, to the point. And yeah, so I feel like doTERRA is finally making good business videos. Like they've always done great product videos, but they also have an opportunity video they put out that's at sharesuccess.com/videos if you're looking for that too. But anyways, with these comp plan changes, they did a survey. They actually did some research on first year of an active builder's build, and most people got to like $300-400, but never beyond that. They just kind of hovered right around that $350 range. And for a lot of people, putting in that kind of effort, it's just not worth it. And so now with it's basically through the power of three changes that you're able to earn $500 and have it stick. So just a quick overview.
Yeah. The image that I popped in there, Andy, is one of the resources that John Jensen shared at the end of the call. And it is
Awesome.
It's got all the information about Path to 500 and a QR code you can scan.
Fantastic. Okay. So
Super professional photo.
that's great. It works.
It works.
All you need is a QR code, really. So doTERRA has put together incredible resources. They put together PowerPoints, but the short of it is through Power of Three, all you need to do is earn your level 2 and then the level 2 boost, and boom, you're making $500 a month. And so the level 2 pays $250, the boost is another $250. It's for the amount of volume that's required, it's extremely generous. And I feel like we finally cracked the code on how to get people to 500. And what's magical about the number 500? Well, the Direct Selling Association did some research that they surveyed thousands and thousands of Americans and found that 83% of American adults would get involved in direct selling if they knew they could make $500 a month. So that's what we have now. We have the solution to that. Yeah, go check out the videos. It's so exciting. This is the best time.
I'm going to put a link in, Andy, also for people to sign up for the calls.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I have it somewhere.
All right, we have a question from Shelly. She is about to help an 11-year-old who's sick over going to school now that that mom is now homeschooling. They thought she had an ulcer, but it was literally from anxiety over school. Any advice? Well, if you know me, I'm going to talk about emotions. So I believe that there's an emotional root to every condition that shows up in our body. And this would be especially the case here. I mean, you've already identified that it's not a physical, it's not just an ulcer, it's an anxiety issue. So I would start with the emotions book, and I would look up anxiety in the emotions section, and I would just go through that whole process. There's a free breakthrough worksheet that you can download at essentialemotions.com/breakthrough. So yeah, that's a great question, and we will be praying for you in your work with this sweet 11-year-old. What a hard thing. Okay. All right. Thank you, Victoria, for posting that link to the calls.
And Becky's asking, they're saying right now, Becky, that the comp plan changes are gonna go into effect June 1st, 90% that it will. But they did extend the boost through, I think, is it through May 31st?
They
So
basically said until we've made the switch, the boost is live. So
for US and
yeah,
Canada.
for US and Canada.
I'm the international person. I'm that accurate person. I don't want to get everybody in Europe excited when we don't quite have it there yet.
I know, right? So yes, originally they were just going to do it, I think February and March, but now it's extended. So grateful. Okay. What are the questions you guys have? Just going to check Facebook, see if we have any. Nope, I don't see any questions there. Okay, we have.
I'll just keep talking until you find
Please.
the question, because I always have something. My husband always says he's so happy that I found a way to monetize my ability to chit chat. That's what he says.
That is so great.
But I just wanted to say, for those of you who are interested, Laura Jacobs, so we have the Wellness Foundation, which is fantastic on its own, but it is also kind of the first month of Laura Jacobs' 90-day reset. And we've been having really good just follow-up. When you sign people up for a 90-day program, you get that first month enrollment, and then you get the second 2 months of rewards orders. And then by then they're already getting points and they're already feeling great. And so the 90-day reset is just a really good program. If you haven't heard about it, you can find it in Enroll Pro if you have Enroll Pro, or I can try to find the link if anyone's interested. It's a just a really good program to help get a 3-month commitment. And it's all about Wellness Foundation. And second month is really the Cleanse and Restore. So the first month is the Wellness Foundation, a little bit elevated. Then it's the Cleanse and Restore is the second month. And then the third month, they go into kind of the repair stage, and that's adding the Advantage. And she's working on right now like a 4th maintenance month that would be going forward. So
awesome. So many gems in Enroll Pro, like just, I mean, it's literally a gold mine. So, okay, there was a question from Becky. She says, I know you did a whole call on the updated comp plan. I'm feeling fuzzy on it again. Is there a quick, easy resource to access to refresh my mind? So doTERRA has been doing just a phenomenal job of creating PDFs and PowerPoints and just really simple guides, just to give you the overview. And so I just put a link to my favorite resources in the DMK. That's the digital marketing kit. So for those of you who don't know, you can always go to doTERRA.com/DMK. And gosh, another treasure trove. Like if we had 1/10 of these resources when Natalie and I started building our business, oh, can't even imagine. But I'll just share my screen real quick. So here's what you'll find. So I just went to doTERRA/DMK, and then I searched for compensation, and then this is what came up. And then I just clicked on this first one right here, and they have some great little PDFs. This one is, it looks like, oh, that was quick going from resource to resource. So this is a short PDF. And then this guy, another little quick overview. And I think this one is a multi-page document. But if you want to do a deeper dive, I would download this guy right here, because that's the whole PowerPoint they've been training from. So there's 30,000, 10,000 and ground level training right there. Okay.
I just popped that webinar in as well. Some people like video. It's really good, which I just found in the DMK as well. So just going to the DMK comp plan is everything's there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so Michelle asks in the Q&A box, so the boost is only available till May 31st. How do you keep making an extra 500 if it goes away after May 31st? Okay, so I think we already covered this, but for those who, in case you missed it, doTERRA did offer to extend that boost until it becomes a permanent part of the comp plan. So it's basically in the US and Canada, it's never going away. So you just get the structure in place, get the boost in place, and then you're set. Okay, so that is the boost till May 31st. Okay. Heather asks where I got the graphic that shows what team points are needed for each rank.
It's in the presentation that you just posted.
Is it? Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's so well organized, because some of these things are new to us and you're like, oh, I don't fully have my head wrapped around it. And so I'm a visual guy. These are all visual resources. So.
And you know what? I have to say again, I have been on every single comp plan call that has worked in my calendar. I went to those mastermind tables. I've watched the videos. You have to watch it so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in doTERRA a long time. I kind of know what I'm doing, but this is new, right? And there's a learning curve. And, depending on your learning style,
Yeah.
I'm a multimodal learner, right? So I have to do things 2 or 3 times, but then I really get it. So read it, watch it, listen to it, whatever it takes, but don't feel bad if you're having to watch it 3, 4, 5, 10 times before it makes sense. I shared that we had Amy Olette come for a mastermind session after leadership, and we literally took turns drawing it out on the whiteboard to each other, practicing it, right?
Yeah.
Again, going back to Ethan, you don't just go cut somebody open. You have to practice.
Yep.
We do too, if we want to be excellent.
Totally.
I remember when I first started teaching classes back in China, and I was by myself, right? I was starting to teach classes and I'd never seen a class. I was just kind of winging it because, we didn't have YouTube and anyway, I literally was setting up my daughter's stuffed animals on the sofa because I just needed eyeballs. I just needed to feel like I was teaching to something. And that made it easier for me. So don't feel silly because when you're cashing those presidential checks, who's laughing?
Exactly. And for those who don't know, Victoria is an amazing presidential diamond. She has the most international team that I know of. And so she's got her hands in every market and all their promos and all their rules and tools. And so Victoria is the one we go to when we don't know what's going on in a certain market. Okay, I have a question for you.
I may not know everything, but I know where to find it.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not offering her as a resource to all of you, just to be clear. Okay, we've got a question that just came through here, Victoria. Michelle says, is there a tear sheet for teaching foundational wellness? She actually found one in the DMK, but couldn't find the script. I think she might be referring to Dana Moore's.
Yeah, Dana Moore's presentation, foundational wellness presentation is in there. But they have not put the script yet. And as you shared earlier, I'm hoping that it's just going through legal and will be posted soon.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
So great question, Michelle. That resource is coming. Okay. Any other questions?
Sophia, you're so welcome. And I tell you what, you feel silly, but then you don't feel silly when you're teaching it to people the first time. So
Mhm.
it's be silly.
Yep.
Who cares? Just do what
Yeah.
it takes. I've done so many things that I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but it worked.
So true, right? Um, can I share a funny story on that while we're waiting for the next question? Um, okay, so before that, Michelle's saying, is there an actual tear sheet? Um, so um, I think there are PDFs in the DMK, and so you could print those off, and that would be the same thing as a tear pad. To my knowledge, doTERRA, are they still selling any class tear pads or class handouts? I so few people are using or buying those things. Everyone I know just prints their own stuff. So
Yeah, we
that's
just print it off. Yeah. Like I'm teaching a class this afternoon and I just printed
yeah,
8 sheets.
yeah. So to my knowledge, nobody is selling a printed physical foundational wellness tear sheet. So Becky is saying in the chat, I think you can get a tear pad with the class in the box. Okay, well, there you go. I don't know. Becky, do you know if that is
I
the
think that's
foundational
Natural
wellness?
Solutions, and I wonder
Yeah,
if they're going to be shifting it over. I'm
I
sure
wouldn't be
they will.
surprised. Yeah, that's my guess too. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, Victoria, iPhone is asking, in the Enroll Pro, does the $6.99 a month provide the 90-day protocol? I thought the protocol was sold separately.
It's sold separately, and I'm actually just now still looking for the link, and I just asked Megan, Laura's assistant. And no, the $6.99 gives you kind of the CRM part of it. I think it's $26.99 or something where you get all of the marketing assets, which would include the 90-day reset. But I'm still looking for this link because you buy it, I think it's like $50. You buy it and you get the presentation, you get the script, you get a video of Laura teaching it, you get all the handouts and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's just like a one-time fee of $50. So I'm trying to find the link.
you're great. Becky, you're asking which video on Share Success is the new one. So the video page is divided up into 3 sections. I'll just share my screen here real quick. So the first section is product, next section is business, and then down here we have leaders and stories. So the business section is this very first video right here. So it's only 2.5 minutes long.
Warm water to
Oh.
help me lose weight. My friends laughed at me.
Of course, it
But when they
shows
saw
an
how
ad.
fast I was changing, they started doing it themselves. Apparently, thousands of women.
Okay, well, trust me, that is the link. For some reason, it's not logged into my YouTube Pro account. So anyways, that's the link right there. I thought you could play it right here. Oh yeah, you can.
This
Okay.
might sound crazy.
Yeah, it's basically a pitch for time freedom and financial freedom, but it does it in such a great way. It's fantastic. So, okay, Jeff is asking if Enroll Pro is worth it if I've not enrolled anyone. If you don't have a downline yet, I would not be paying for Enroll Pro personally. I think the DMK has incredible resources. But once you do start having a good sized team, it starts to make a lot of sense. So that's my 2 cents. Okay.
Yeah, I would say really once you're for sure at the rank of elite, you would need it.
Yeah.
Because then you can start doing newsletters and
Mm-hmm.
custom emails and all kinds of good stuff and keep track of people.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm actually logged into Enroll Pro, so maybe I'll just give you a quick walkthrough if while we're waiting for any other questions. So here's the main dashboard. So you can store contacts, you can send out emails. Here's your contact dashboard. the whole thing is all in line with pipes, which is how we build doTERRA. So here's here's our pipes. It keeps track of your tasks. But the gold mine is here under marketing. So under marketing, there are literally dozens, if not hundreds of resources under each and every one of these links. So just in the presenting, you've got PDF after PDF of incredible resources. So, and each of these can be sent through email. Some of them are just PDFs you can download. It's fantastic resource library. So that's Enroll Pro. Hey, look at you, Victoria.
So you can open those up and it will tell you what it is, obviously, before you buy it, and you can make your decision. But for me, it was fantastic. So,
Awesome.
and it's what I teach.
Okay.
Oh, can I say why I teach this?
Yes.
Because I like teaching to a higher level and offering a 90-day program. And of course, we talk about how it's taken them decades to get as sick as they are. So 90 days to reset is not a big deal. But then you can, if it's a budget issue or a skepticism issue or whatever, you can drop down to the Wellness Foundation, right? Whereas if you only teach to the Wellness Foundation, then what are you dropping down to?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You
Just
got to teach to a standard. For those of you who are looking for a cheap or free tool to start out with, Empowered Social is great. And Paula put a link to that. It's empwrsocial.com. It's a great resource. And hopefully with the help of Allie, it's going to get even better. So
she's meeting with Kyle on today, Wednesday. Today is Wednesday.
Awesome. Fingers crossed there. Okay, and then Cindy says, my other question involves how to understand what to take with what shouldn't be taken together, and the timing of various supplements throughout the day. So Victoria, I'll bet you could speak to this better than I could. They originally thought that you wouldn't want to take Terrazyme at the same time that you're taking the
MetaPower Assist.
The MetaPower Assist, but I thought they did some research and found that wasn't a problem.
Yeah. I would say I always tell people to start slow and add on, and then you need to be intuitive to your own body. But if I have a 95-pound woman, I'm going to start her on a half of everything, compared to like if I have a 200-pound man who can take a full dose. So, I like, even with the VMG, I'll start her on like a half a sachet, or have her break it up through the day. Terrazyme and Advantage you couldn't take together. That might be, I know it's one of the MetaPower things, but they did kind of discount it and say that wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
My question is also, how do you find out? I have contacted corporate several times and they say, well, we're not going to give you medical advice. I go, I understand that. However, I have to take a lot of iron and it wasn't working well. And I found out I was taking it at the same time as Deep Blue polyphenols all in the morning. And then I read something that said that polyphenols keep iron from absorbing well. And I go like, oh, well, then I just separated those and now I am doing much better on my iron. And so knowing something like that, and there's also polyphenols to some extent in tea and coffee. So these are all other surrounding things. Yeah. So there are things to know that well,
I'll tell you what I do, Cindy. I stalk Dr. Osgathorpe and I stalk Dr. Riggs on YouTube. And they also have quite a few videos in the DMK. And I'm trying to think who else. Are you in any of the Facebook groups?
Yes, I'm in. Well, that was my other question, was how do you sort out the information? So there's so much information. I did learn about the new app. It's just trying to figure out. I've just been doing parent caregiving for several months or years, I guess. and trying to learn specific things that we needed. But now I'm trying to serve a broader audience. And when I tell new people where to look for information, I find that there's so many things I want to recommend. I have a hard time not overwhelming them. So
in the new Empower Social app, or in Enroll Pro, there's a health quiz and or a vitality assessment, and those I send out to people because it's really helpful to start getting that information, because the reality is healthcare is pretty individualized, right? Because everybody's different. And so I always like, this is why we do wellness consultations and have them do one of these health quizzes, and ask a lot of questions. And I always, like I said, I always start slow and build up, because I don't want somebody to have a bad experience. This is another reason why I really like the 90-day reset, because it has, the first month is preparing people for the cleanse and then putting them onto a maintenance where, you know, we used to just go right into the cleanse and restore, and people would have headaches or nausea or itching because they were detoxing too quickly. So, you know, you do have to just take time with people. And I will tell you guys, I just listened to something this morning comparing, this is so out of our zone, but it was comparing McDonald's to Chick-fil-A. And McDonald's has a way larger footprint geographically, like so many more stores or restaurants and globally, and they're open 7 days a week, and Chick-fil-A's famously only opened 6. But Chick-fil-A makes a lot more money, is more profitable. And they were talking about, why is that? And they said, because Chick-fil-A puts an emphasis on the people over the profit. And when you go into a Chick-fil-A restaurant, they are like, my pleasure to serve you. Can I get you a top up on your drink? You know, so they're actually giving away. I've never been to a McDonald's, but maybe I was when I was a kid. I can't remember. But since my heart attack at 21, I haven't gone to one. I don't think McDonald's gives free refills or something. They were talking about in this podcast, and Chick-fil-A does. And so they were saying it was all because of the service that people get at Chick-fil-A is why they're so much more profitable over McDonald's. And I sent that to my leaders, and I said, apply this concept to your doTERRA business.
Relationships is why we're here, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're not here to just sell a product and move on and sell another product. We're here to sell a lifestyle and to serve people and to bring them into our communities. And so we're Chick-fil-A. We're the Chick-fil-A people. And so I would say that even with how you're figuring out what supplements to take, you got to ask a lot of questions and start slow. And have them spread things out. I always spread do you take everything all at once? Probably not.
No, but I am getting challenged with, as I take more of the things and I go like, oh, okay, I'm ready to add more of this and that. Boy, it is.
I used to have all my supplements in the kitchen. Now I've got like half in the kitchen and half in my bedroom, because I take the other half at night. So I would say that that's maybe not a scientific answer, but
I like the visual breakup though. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for addressing the overwhelm a little bit. And yeah, when we have questions, I like your idea of just.
And another good thing for starting small and adding is, because if they are going to have a reaction, it's easier to know what it was that might have triggered it. Whereas if you just give them, take these 10 things every day for 2 minutes in the morning, and they have a reaction, you don't know what they're reacting to. Is it everything combined, or is it one thing? Whereas if you just kind of start slow and say, hey, we're going to build, because you don't want to overwhelm their body.
Right. Well, like with my iron, it was just like, how can we do better? Because I'm getting infusions now, and it was only lasting 2.5 months, and it lasts a year for most people. So I'm going like, well, why is that? So then the theory came up of maybe I'm eating something or taking something. I found out that. And then the next theory is that there could be a parasite related thing. So I'm about to restart the cleanse specifically.
And we just heard you can take GX Assist every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, I just heard it might have been out a while. I don't know.
Yes, I have. So I have all that now. But yes, those are some working theories. But the change isn't immediate. There's no real reaction. So I was trying to figure out where do you get more information. But I love your idea of stalking the doctors, and I'll do more of that. Thank you.
And if you find them at leadership or convention, they are so open. Like you can just walk right up. I mean, they probably run from me now, but and talk to them. So if you happen to be around them,
Yes, thank you.
Very, very open.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh, true. Okay, we had one last question come through. Somebody said, where do I find the resources that Lindsay referred to on her call a few weeks ago? So I have uploaded several resources from leadership as well as all of Lindsay's resources at sharesuccess.com/leadership. So we held a mastermind. The PowerPoint is there. There's, the emotions resources that we refer to. One gal talked about Zyto, and we also have a training from Matt and a training from Lindsay. So these are great resources. But I think the class you're referring to is Lindsay's class presentation, which is right here. So foundational health. She leads with the supplements and then backdoors the essential oils, and she's having phenomenal success. So lots of great resources there.
Andy, can I just say on the Zytoscan that if you're looking for that, they just changed it to the Sarah link for the link that's the one that you email out. So it's the Sarah, I'll type it in the chat.
Oh, cool. Thank you. And then somebody also asked for the the video with the Path to 500. I'm adding that right now to the video page. So sharesuccess.com/videos. So that should be there in about 5 minutes. Awesome. Well, Victoria, you're my co-host.
I had a call cancel. I had a call in India and they canceled, and I looked at my calendar and I went, oh, I could pop on and see what's happening.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, Jillian, I think you had your hand raised. Did you have a question before we wrap?
You're okay. I was just going to share about the 90-day reset, but I think we're good if you don't want to go over. So,
I'm here. If you want to share, please go ahead.
So I was just going to share. I think it's dirty. I think I just rose. I am having great success with it, and I actually love it so much because I do feel like it gives people, I think for me personally, it's kind of like, where do you start people? And like, I love the foundational wellness for sure for most people, but some people just need more than that. And so my husband has an employee at his work who he reports to my husband, and he misses probably 3 to 4 days a month because he's either has asthma or he's got tummy, stomach stuff going on. And so he came to me, basically was like, I just want to be healthy. That's what he said. My mom died young, my dad died young, my sister died young. Like, can you help me be healthy? And had no idea about supplementation. So anyways, long story short, we put him on the 90-day reset. He was using his inhaler like 20 times a day, was in the ER multiple times through the winter because if he couldn't get his asthma under control. He had taken a heartburn medication for 20 years, had digestive issues, all sorts of things, crazy. So we put him on the 90-day reset with honestly our intention of just helping him be healthier. And after the 3 months, he came back, like, he's like, I don't want to oversell this to people, but like, he goes into my husband's office, like unsolicited all the time. And is like, I am like, I can't even believe how much better I feel. He didn't change diet, didn't change exercise, nothing. And his asthma, he said he's used 8 puffs of an inhaler in a month. Never ended up in the ER through the winter, which he said like every year he's in the ER. And then he 2 weeks ago just texted me that he came off his heartburn medications 2 weeks ago after 20 years, and he hasn't had to take it once since. So like, wow. Just a phenomenal, like, I mean, but it's just bringing that inflammation markers down and just giving good things to our body. And it was designed very meticulously by Dr. Watson Lara. And anyways, I'm a huge fan of it. I just wanted to kind of share that testimonial because it really has, and I'm seeing that in other customers as well. Anyways, but pretty awesome what it's doing when we give our bodies what it needs.
So true, right?
Yes, I see you saying you need to record it. I've actually asked him. I'm going to do a video with him and have him just share. But yeah, that's on my docket. So anyways, kind of cool. It really is a powerful program.
That's amazing.
And if we can just stay focused on the fact that we change lives,
yeah.
Right? We just go talk to people and listen to people. And I tell people all the time, the money I make is directly linked to the number of people I help.
Mhm.
And that's what we do. So just go help people like this. Look at that. They changed this man's life.
Amen. Thank you for sharing that story, Jillian. That's so powerful.
You're welcome.
And that's what we all get to do. We get to change lives. And if we choose to, we can even make a career out of it. So thank you so much, doTERRA. And thank you to each of you for the ways that you show up and the way you serve your community and beyond. So blessings to each of you. And we will see you next week. Little heads up. Lindsay Norman got a lot of requests to go deeper on her 4 quadrants. And so she has graciously offered to come on to the success coaching call and do that. And I believe she's doing it the 26th of this month, March. And then another time, I think it's Wednesday the 2nd. So for sure, tune in March 26th for Lindsay giving us a deeper dive on how she is raising up leaders and crushing it with duplication with this 4 quadrants training. So looking forward to it. Awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll catch you next week.